The 1-year anniversary of October 7th is approaching. And for Israelis, especially the families of the hostages and soldiers, it still feels like October 8th. Before Hamas executed her son and 5 other innocent hostages, Rachel Goldberg often said that when people asked her how she was doing, it was like being asked that question while a branding iron was on her back. October 7th opened a door of unimaginable grief without an exit. The American Christian Leaders for Israel, of which Jerusalem Connection is a member, will participate as a unified voice at the memorial event at the National Mall in Washington, D.C., to commemorate the 1-year anniversary. Please consider attending this significant event happening from 12 to 3 on October 7th. The hope is that 10,000 Christians will show up. To honor those lost, we will create a visual memorial by displaying photographs of each victim from October 7th, as well as images of those still held hostage. We plan to carry these pictures in a procession to the White House, demonstrating our solidarity. This event welcomes all supporters of Israel, so bring your church, youth group, Bible study, or class. While Jerusalem Connection is planning on attending the commemorations, I am also studying Ezekiel for Bible Fiber. Chapters 26 through 33 are a section of Ezekiel called the Oracles Against the Nations. Following the Babylonian invasion that destroyed the Jerusalem temple and led to the deportation of most of Judah's population, Ezekiel pronounced these condemnations against Israel's neighboring enemies. After 20 chapters of judgment speeches against Jerusalem, suddenly Ezekiel points the finger away from Judah and at her longtime rivals, the Moabites, Edomites, Ammonites, Philistines, Phoenicians, and Egyptians. God has a divine pronouncement for every pagan neighbor who gloated over Judah's fall at the hands of Nebuchadnezzar. This is the lowest point in Israel's biblical story. The exile and loss of the temple were ancient Israel's most traumatic episode. They needed to hear from the Lord while they processed how it was even possible that God let such a calamity happen to this holy city and covenant people. Because my mind always holds thoughts of biblical Israel together with concerns over modern Israel, I am struck by the relevance of Ezekiel's oracles against the nations to the world today. The prophet's words to the exilic community of 587 BCE still resonate with those in Israel. When an authority insults your enemy or threatens your bully, it is an indirect message of comfort for you. Knowing that to be true of our human nature, I feel God's kindness and compassion towards Judah and the oracles against the nations, even if it's a little backhanded. Without an army, king, or even land, Judah had nothing left to defend herself. God's message was that it was his job to vindicate her. Ezekiel, speaking as God's mouthpiece, prophesied, "When I gather the people of Israel from the nations where they have been scattered, I will be proved holy through them in the sight of the nations. Then they will live in their own land, which I gave to my servant Jacob. They will live there in safety and will build houses and plant vineyards. They will live in safety when I inflict punishment on all their neighbors who maligned them. Then they will know that I am the Lord their God." Modern Israel, like ancient Israel, is locked in a permanent struggle with her neighbors. Hamas in the Gaza Strip has promised that it will survive this war and regroup for its next genocidal attack. Over the last 12 months, Hezbollah in Lebanon has fired over 7,500 rockets, anti-tank missiles, and explosive UAVs at Israeli civilians and military targets. Of course, Iran is the grand puppet master, forcing all its regional puppets to do its dirty bidding. The Houthis in Yemen did not launch missiles at Eilat because they feel solidarity with Gazans. They are following Iran's marching orders and trying to stay relevant as a global terrorist organization. What Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and the Houthis all have in common is that they refuse to even acknowledge Israel's right to exist. They forego their own political independence, economic success, and civil stability in favor of killing Jews. Is it any wonder that Israelis' mental health is fraying at the edges? If there were an Ezekiel in our midst today, I am sure he would promise Israel that God would not allow her tormentors to walk free. He would have a strongly worded oracle for each of these bad actors coming against God's people. However, Ezekiel also has a harsh word for quiet bystanders. God declared Ammon and Moab's destruction just because they gloated over Jerusalem's fall. They didn't take an active part in the attack, but they dared to question Israel's divine election and rejoice over her weakness. How many individuals and organizations in the West are guilty of the same? As someone who is fighting for the truth of October 7th to be known and shared, I'm taking comfort in the words of Ezekiel that God will vindicate and restore Israel. Nations have forgotten that they will be judged by the standards of Genesis 12:3, that whoever curses Israel will be cursed and whoever blesses Israel will be blessed. In honor of all the victims on October 7th and the IDF heroes who have died in the fight in the last year, I'm leaving you with a Psalm of the Ascent. My friend Andrew McCain wrote this song to Psalm 123, and I want to end with it since in times of ongoing grief, all we can do is lift our eyes up to the one who sits enthroned in heaven.
שיר אמר לו שיר אמר לו עליך נשאתי את עיניי היושבי בשמיים הנה חני עבדים אל יד אדוני הם כני שפחה אל יד גבירתה כן עינינו אל אדוני אדוני עד שיחוננו אדוני אדוני חוננו כי רב סבנו והוא רבת סבל לנפשנו הגשנני הבוז לגיוני חוננו and you I lift my eyes oh God in the heavens just as the eyes of a servant look to the hands of his master, like the eyes of a maid look to the hands of her mistress. So our eyes look to you, our eyes look to you, God have mercy. Have mercy on us. Oh God, filled up with contempt. Scorn and contempt. Our souls are drenched in the contempt of the proud and complacent, the contempt of the rich, how they mock and hate. Have mercy on us. How long till you save us? Have mercy on us. Oh, Son of David, have mercy. Mercy. Choneinu. Choneinu.